feel a real sense of rage. When the trains don't work, it's really something that kicks off anger inside people.
Provided with the service that you are, you feel robbed. You feel it is almost daylight robbery, you know.
Join me, Christian Wolmar, for a journey into the railway blues.
I'll be exploring the hidden problems that stop our trains from running on time. And there will be awkward questions for those who run the railway.
He and I won't be here in 6 months if that improvement isn't better. Our bosses will have found somebody else to do the job.
Hi, I'd like a standard open return to Cardiff, please. £158. I'm going to have to take a bank loan to pay for this. I'm Christian Wolmar, a transport journalist living in London. But today I'm off to Cardiff on the Great Western Railway. It's a line steeped in history and was once called God's Wonderful Railway. My train today is operated by First Great Western, a company celebrating its 10th anniversary of operating the service. It's a name that consciously evokes railway's great history. The trouble is, First Great Western has not lived up to its grand name. The trains, as we've seen, can be very expensive, they're often overcrowded and very often late. Indeed, sometimes very late. It's all so far from what a 21st century railway should be. It's 60 years since rail nationalisation, and I want to find out what's happened to our beloved railways and who is to blame. And I may even find out where my £158 has gone.
So are we still getting a silver service? Far from it.
What is clear is that First Great Western is the worst performing train operation in the country. Just 2 out of 3 of these high-speed train services were on time, according to the last official figures.
In fact, it's been so bad that the government has warned the company it's in danger of losing its franchise.
First Great Western has faced a barrage of criticism over its performance. There's been passenger demonstrations, and one woman has even created a website called I Hate First Great Western. Let's go see what she has to say. Can you tell me, why did you set up this website?
When I started the blog, I was so angry. I was just looking for an outlet to rant away about how bad they were. And I think people underestimate, they don't like the word hate in the title, I Hate First Great Western. They think that's a bit extreme. But when you're standing there on the platform, you know you're going to miss all your connections, you know you're going to be late for work again, and it sounds like such a bad excuse that my train was late. You feel a real sense of rage, and that comes across from people because they're typing to me in capitals on my blog saying they're so useless, they should all be fired. There really is. When the trains don't work, it's really something that kicks off anger inside people.
You're providing a bit of sort of relief. It's a sort of Samaritans type thing, really.
Exactly.
You know, stopping people jumping on the tracks or whatever. You've had about 20,000 visitors. Have they all been complaining, or do some of them actually say, well, I had a good experience today?
I think everybody realises there are good days and bad days, and this is not just about knocking First Great Western. And the thing you find is when you want to try and organise a protest, nobody's very interested, everybody's busy, but if you want to give them a badge and say, when your train is late and you're really angry, just put on this badge. I mean, particularly this time, people ordering badges have been in Wales, so perhaps there is a specific problem. I'm not sure why that is, they haven't come back and told me yet.
So, did you bring any of the badges with you?
Of course I did. I'll give you a badge. Now, you only wear it if your train is late or delayed, or if you're particularly angry with First Great Western that day, but who knows, let's see how your journey goes. And if it's particularly bad, perhaps you'll put it on.
Well, I hope I don't have to.
My badge is just one of 1,000 Helen has sent out. Right up and down the line, there have been passenger revolts. Down west, one irate traveller even penned a song with apologies to no one save Johnny Cash.
I hear the train a-comin', it's creaking round the bend. Should have been here at 8:30, now it's 10:30. It's the first grade Western trudging down the line. Yeah, the first grade Western, it never runs on time. Appalling. All crammed together like a load of cattle, end to end, on the trip to Weston-super-Mare. Dreadful. 2 carriages for about 4,000 people. Get a seat. You must be having a laugh. It's the first grade Western. I sat down one night with a bottle of whiskey. I thought, hang on a minute, what did I put to put up with all that for? And it just went through my mind, being a lyricist, how to put the two things together. So I came up with, give some musical voice to all those that have suffered in a similar manner. Don't try to get a sandwich, there ain't no Buffy car. The bogs are always broken, I hope you're not going far on the first grade Western.
In Bristol and Bath, there have been fare strikes. And those who commute across the Severn are equally fed up. They call it the Sardine Express.
I think it's an appalling service. It's like a cattle shed, to be honest. There's two carriages, and it's just total standing room. You like that with people, you know, and it's just not nice.
The stance that we should abandon our cars and get on the train really doesn't cut the ice if you are left waiting on a platform while the train arrives that you can't physically get on.
You're squashing your shoes in between people, and your face is almost up against someone else. It has been quite an unbearable experience in the past, yes.
They say they'll make improvements, they got us all in mind. The latest cure for crowding is to make us run behind the first grade Western. Yeah, that's their latest plan. Yeah, the first grade Western, the worst train on demand.
So how come, when we invented the railways, did we end up with this shambolic system?
The question now is not whether we should privatise it, but about how and when.
I've been following the privatisation story for the past 15 years, and in my view, it's a complete disaster and an enormous waste of taxpayers' money. What's more, it's also stopped the railway from investing a lot of money.
Before I embarked on this journey, I received a remarkable statement from the Prime Minister who presided over the great rail sell-off.
Well, I've just had a letter from John Major, and that's pretty amazing because John Major has never talked about rail privatisation. Indeed, in his whole autobiography, there's hardly a word about it. But now he's written to us to explain why he privatised the railways. And actually, it's fascinating because he says, I thought British Rail was inefficient, had been inadequately funded for 50 years, was hidebound by tradition and poorly managed. And he concludes by saying that the impetus for privatisation was my desire to improve public services. Well, I'm not sure the passengers of First Great Western would agree with that.
The Great Western franchise was among the first to be awarded, initially to a management buyout team. Even then, many people didn't like the idea. But privatisation steamed ahead anyway, promising better trains that cost less, both to passengers and taxpayers.